You're listening to the Ask Drone U podcast. You ask, we answer your drone questions. Whether you're here to turn your passion into profit or you simply fly for fun, we're a community of learners and teachers who aspire to achieve greatness. We are
Drone U.
Hey everyone, and welcome to another awesome episode of Ask Drone U. My name is Paul.
And my name is Rob. Thank you for joining us, for spending a few minutes of your very important day with us. Excited for this show. Definitely something unique coming at you.
Yeah, I love the questions coming in about NFTs, and there's actually been a significant update on this. So very excited about helping drone pilots sell their media in a new form to augment their existing revenue streams. Today's show is brought to you by our Drone U trainings. We got a lot coming up. Whether you need to gain confidence or you need to learn some photogrammetry, check us out, thedroneu.com, and join me or our good friend PJ for a training in your area.
Hey, Paul and Rob, Tom again. Hey, what are your thoughts on NFTs? Should we incorporate them into our business? Maybe sell those as some of our images? What are your thoughts? And maybe an explanation on exactly what NFTs are. Thanks again.
Ooh, thank you, Tom. Appreciate you sending in all these questions. And this is a good one. This is an interesting one because, man, it is such a new thing. And one of the things I'll say, and I'll let you describe what they are, besides just defining what the acronym stands for.
Yeah.
But one of the things about new things is they are ripe for people being taken advantage of via these new things. So be careful about that.
Yeah, and that brings up an important point about Keynesian economics, that, you know, the stock market, stock price is based off of what? The number of buyers versus the number of sellers. That's what drives price action. And the same is true for NFTs, also known as non-fungible tokens. And you know, I have attempted to sell some NFTs. I know some other people have as well. And one of the biggest issues with NFTs are what we call gas fees. And gas fees are essentially what you pay to list a particular picture as a non-fungible token to sell. And you have to pay these gas fees in crypto, typically Ethereum, in order to sell your actual media as a whole. And I think that it's fair to say on most platforms like OpenSea, where you can sell NFTs, that the overall volume of buyers and sellers has kind of been decreasing, meaning that the market or the potential market for your NFTs has essentially dwindled a little bit. Meaning that you might not be able to get as much as you wanted for any particular NFT. I mean, I've seen pilots who have sold a photo for $500-$600 only for it to be resold 6-7-8 times for a few thousand, you know?
Which is in some cases sort of Ponzi scheme-ish.
Yes. Help me understand that, Rob, and help others understand it. How does that make that a quote-unquote Ponzi scheme?
Well, Ponzi scheme, as I think about it, probably isn't the right term. But if you have a group of people, and this is just one of the elements of nefarious actions related to NFTs that I've read about, I think there are many, is that if you've got a group of people, and it's kind of like the old penny stock thing that would happen, where someone would tout a penny stock, get other people to get excited about it, buy it up, and they sell while other people lose their shirt.
A pump and dump.
Thank you. Yeah, pump and dump. Same thing's been happening with the Reddit stocks.
Yeah.
And a few people, and then you've got these people on Reddit that I'm never selling. Like, you're a fool.
We also call them the bag holders.
But just be careful of that, because you could literally have a group of people that are in it together, and they're buying these NFTs to get the price up, and they make all the money.
Yep.
So it's just one thing to be aware of. That comes to mind based on the example that you just gave. So if you are the person who sold the NFT and you made X number of dollars, even if it's a few hundred, and that's the path that you're going to take, just be happy with that.
Yeah, you definitely do need to be happy with kind of like whatever happens. So, you know, that said, Rob, what the new piece of information that I thought was really important and valid was essentially that Coinbase is going to start essentially offering NFTs on their platform. And Coinbase is one of the largest crypto exchanges that's around. And frankly speaking, I have to say that excited me because it means that there's going to be more buyers and more sellers of NFTs, kind of like expanding the market. And, I'm not sure if it's on the platform right now as we speak, but frankly, it's something that I think is really exciting because you're going to be able to have more interested parties. You're going to be able to have more people who may pay a higher premium for your information. Frankly speaking, I think this is great news for NFTs, and I think it's a great way to make money off of your media. That said, NFTs are kind of a world where people are like, so what does it mean to have a non-fungible token? It essentially means that when you sell a media asset, that it can only be essentially sold, one time. That's a non-fungible token. But I also kind of think that that's a farce in some ways over others, because are you going to sell it as an NFT and then sell prints as well? I mean, I would. I don't see any issue with that. I could be wrong. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know. But that said, this could be a significant issue, frankly, Rob. And
what do you mean by a significant issue?
Well, I don't think it's really quite clear on if you can sell an NFT, but also be able to sell prints of that same digital image, if that makes sense.
Or just any other, prints or just other versions of the digital image. And then I don't know, what if you just admit they're not the original? Does that kind of get you out of the realm of being responsible for doing something with it?
I don't know. And I'm also really curious what type of existing crypto law there is, because that's
not much.
I feel like this is where the next John Rupert's going to come out of, because he was like one of the first, on aviation law to really tackle UAV stuff. And with all this crypto stuff, it really brings in a whole new light. It really brings in a lot of question as far as the crypto law and, what are there precedents? Are there rules on this? If there are rules, how are they enforced? I think it's an important question.
Well, and you're going to have to, in order to sell an NFT, you've got to be on some sort of a network. And so you alluded to that, whether it's Ethereum or others, and there are fees associated with doing that.
Yeah.
And let's put it this way. I do not think NFTs are easy money.
Really?
I don't think so, especially when you're talking about the volume. I have never even contemplated buying an NFT. I'm one person, but I would say that is the majority of people. There are too many other things that I can put money into as an investment.
Well, I know, and see, that's the important part, is a store of value, right? And I think some people in the craze of NFTs, they did see it as a store of value. They saw it as something that they could buy and then resell. But with the volume kind of tapering off, is that still the case, right? Is that still something that people can count on? And I don't think it's clear either way.
Yeah, and I might sound like an old fogey, and this is something new, and so I'm uncomfortable with it. I totally understand that. But, in terms of supply and demand, I don't know. I mean, I think there's early adopters, and we're probably still in the realm of early adoption with these. I would also say this. I don't know what it costs to put an NFT on some platform and try to sell it. You have tried, so you could probably speak to that.
It's a CF too. I mean, that's another reason I'm excited for Coinbase, is if they make the user experience simple, convenient, and easy, I think that there's a phenomenal opportunity.
So are they creating the seller's platform as well? Like you give them a digital image and somehow prove, and then they put it on the blockchain for you?
That's my understanding.
So there could be real value there. For them to do that, that's probably going to be pretty costly. If I were them, I'd take like 30% of what it sells for or something for that process.
That's a good point.
I don't know what that's going to look like, but it probably will be pretty steep. But if you have no other way or understanding of doing it, it's probably worth that to you if they make it simple and you have something cool that somebody else wants to buy. I mean, I don't think it's a dead-end thing. I mean, in terms of, is it worth us getting into, is the way Tom put it. I wouldn't poo-poo it completely.
Yeah, I would think it definitely deserves further investigation, but I think I would also caveat that with make sure wherever you are doing it that it's a platform that has a lot of users, because you could get stuck getting a lower premium for something that has more value, and at the end of the day, I think we're just at the beginning of NFTs and there might be value in waiting.
There might be, but when it comes to creating your own and putting them out there on one of the various markets that exist, I guess I don't have enough information personally as to the cost of that. If it's relatively minor, why not try? See what happens.
Couldn't agree more. And again, it'll be interesting to see what type of fees are going to be involved with Coinbase, because the gas fees and how you have to pay them and the super complex process of doing that using MetaMask and all of that, it's just a CF.
Well, and I would imagine there are other platforms or exchanges that avoid that.
Yeah, I'm sure there are. Yeah, that's a good point.
Just have to find what they are, which we're not prepared to share with you in this particular podcast.
No, but I think it is, to recap it, I think it's worth it. I think it's also worth it to check comparables, what other people are getting. And this also puts a whole new kink, if you think about it, on the commercial usage of photos and having a 107, because I know a lot of people that don't have a 107 that have taken photos recreationally, sell them as NFTs, and I'm not sure the FAA has even breached that subject at all. So
yeah, yeah, and there are idiosyncrasies. It's one of the things that I read is even the time at which you post your NFT for sale, say on the Ethereum network, on one of the exchanges that uses Ethereum or the platforms that uses Ethereum, if you pick a day that is less congested, your gas fees will be lower.
Huh.
So there are just so many variables, and so I guess the last thing I'll say on this is definitely spend some time understanding that to the degree that you're able, in terms of that time benefit payoff, and then maybe go for it.
Yeah, seriously.
Interesting stuff, though.
Very interesting indeed. We hope that this information helped you. Obviously, stay on track. Try to figure out more information about who's opening up the world to NFTs. Maybe Crypto.com gets in it, and that'll really blow it up. I know that hedge funds are trying to get into it. So this is a developing market, and I think it's important to gain as much insight and information as possible.
Yeah. And like you said, I think you just alluded to, something you're going to have to stay up with.
Yeah, for sure. That's going to do it for us today. My name is Paul.
I'm Rob.
That's Ask Drone U.